There's probably one thing that comes to mind when you hear the name Charli D'Amelio, and that's TikTok. In March of 2020, she became the number one most followed TikToker in the world, and for most of you, that's all she will ever be. However, her and her family have tried just about every career imaginable since their meteoric rise to fame, yet they are still known as being famous for nothing. Today we are going to look at the incredible story of a normal American family who was launched into fame for no reason, and how they are destroying their family trying to entertain an audience that does not care about them. The D'Amelios lived a comfortable existence in a traditional New England suburb. Their parents were already rich before the fame, as the sisters attended the King's School in Stamford, Connecticut, which cost $50,000 per year to attend high school. Charli describes her life before TikTok as normal. I would go to school.
Bitch, normal? $50,000 a year?
Go to dance, do my homework, and go to bed. It was pretty much like every other teenager's life. Charli downloaded TikTok like anyone else to distract their mind from the mundaneness of everyday life. She uploaded her first video in March of 2019, which was her and a friend lip-syncing to a random soundbite. She didn't expect anyone but her friends to watch her videos. Considering she had a deep passion for dance, competing as a competitive dancer since she was a toddler, TikTok was the obvious outlet to post fun dance videos. But she could have never predicted what would happen next. In July 2019, on her way to dance class, Charli posted a duet of her following the choreography of a user named Move With Joy. The video instantly went viral, and her notifications blew up during class. I had like 7 followers, but when she picked up her phone after class, she had 2,000. Although Charli claims she never wanted attention nor was trying to be famous, after her first taste of virality, she prioritized TikTok like someone who did it as a full-time job. She posted every day, sometimes multiple times per day, and very quickly she gained hundreds of thousands of followers. Although she was a skilled dancer, it's not like she was doing Jabberwockies level moves that would impress you. In fact, you wouldn't be able to tell that she was a skilled dancer from the mediocre moves she posted on the app. So why was she so popular? Well, even she didn't know. I wish I could give everyone an explanation as to what happened, but I have no idea. I'm just doing what I do every day and posting it, I guess. It's very insane to me, as it is for everyone else watching. At the time, the app was dominated by young users. TikTok classified more than a third, roughly 16.6 million, of its 49 million daily users in the United States as being 14 years old or younger. Charli was 15 years old at the time, making her appealing to the age group of the most active users. Since it was working, she just kept posting, kept trying to grow and see what happens. But her being popular became somewhat of a joke. The Charli D'Amelio challenge was a huge trend where people would overreact to her incredibly average TikToks. In a never-ending ironic loop, people were going viral reacting to her videos, which made her even more viral, which led to even more people asking, why is she famous? Making fun of her became an easy way to gain millions of views, but some things she did were genuinely cringe, like her very first YouTube video intro.
Hey guys, it's Charli and I'm super excited to be sharing with you my first ever YouTube video on my YouTube channel.
As you can imagine, this became a huge meme.
Hey guys, it's Charli and I'm super excited to be sharing with you my first ever YouTube video on my YouTube channel.
Hey guys, my name's Jay. My dad left me at 6. Oh!
Not many people were making money on this app at the time, but in 2019, being a full-time social media personality was a realistic career path, so she definitely had that in the back of her mind and kept pushing along. Then one dance defined the rest of Charli's career. In October 2019, she performed a dance called The Renegade, which was a popular trend coinciding with the K-Camp song called Lottery. The simplistic moves made every teenager on the internet want to give it a try. She was already popular, but this exploded her to over 5 million followers on TikTok. Lottery became the first sound on the platform to reach 20 million videos. If you were unfamiliar with the app, you would think this was the only TikTok dance. Charli would post multiple videos per week doing this one dance. It is now 4 years later, and some people still only know her as the TikTok girl who does this dance. By the end of 2019, she had 18 million followers. Her sister Dixie had a few million followers, and even her mother and father had TikTok accounts with hundreds of thousands of followers. The D'Amelio family was a full-blown business now, and it was time to capitalize on it. Charli got to step into Hollywood and voice act in the animated children's film Stardog and TurboCat. The family signed to United Talent Agency in January of 2020 and began receiving massive business opportunities. Charli got to meet and collaborate with her idol, Jennifer Lopez.
So next week, you guys as a family are going to the Super Bowl. So you have 4 tickets to the Super Bowl, hotels, airfare, you're going to every single event, and you get to go spend time with J-Lo and meet J-Lo and hang with her.
She was also featured in a Super Bowl commercial for Sabra Hummus.
Okay, boomer.
Clearly, acting is not her strong suit, but the only talent that Charli brought to the table was doing the Renegade dance. However, she was
the fuck is
incorrectly
this?
credited with creating the dance, as
don't got
TikTok
it.
users referred to her as the CEO of Renegade, which would ultimately lead to her first major controversy. In February
CC.
2020, the New York Times published an article revealing the actual creator of the Renegade dance, suggesting that Charli and other creators emulated the routine without crediting the source. The Renegade was created by 14-year-old choreographer Jalaiah Harmon, who designed the dance in September 2019 and posted it to her Instagram, a month before Charli recreated it on TikTok. "I was happy when I saw my dance all over," she said, "but I wanted credit for it." What added to the uproar was that Jalaiah was a young black girl who many felt was being overshadowed in a market filled with white teenage girls like Charli and newcomer Addison Rae, who stole her dance and profited immensely. Unless you have a copyright for the dance, then nobody can technically steal it. However, there are countless examples of influencers who gained a career from creating one dance, but then never figured out a way to make money from other people doing the dance. Charli, through a publicist, said that she was so glad to know who created the dance. "I know it's associated with me," she said, "but I'm so happy to give Jalaiah credit." Shortly after the New York Times article was published, Charli posted a video to the TikTok performing the dance alongside Jalaiah and Addison Rae. Now it's considered standard practice to put dance credit, or DC, then tag the creator who originally made it in the caption. Even when Charli went on Jimmy Fallon to dance in front of millions, they DC'd everyone in the description below. I'm just glad Young Daddy Cat got their credit. Fortunately for Charli, this controversy kinda went away quickly, because the world got hit with the pandemic and had bigger problems to address. By the end of March 2020, nearly the whole world was shut down, with hundreds of millions of people inside browsing the internet all day. TikTok gained 315 million new users, so when Charli officially became the #1 most followed TikTok account on March 25th, it was huge news. She surpassed Lauren Gray at 41.4 million followers. TikTok having a rising star was crucial for their success. Charli was their model example of how this app can change your life, but it just kept leading to more and more people asking, why is she #1? Why is she famous? It didn't help that Charli embarked on the most generic career path as any other random LA socialite influencer. She started a podcast. The Ramble Podcast Network struck a deal with Charli and Dixie to launch a series called Two Chicks. They lasted 27 episodes, but it didn't take off since the two aren't really that great at talking. Then Charli and Dixie partnered with Morphe Cosmetics to launch a makeup line. Makeup reviewers on YouTube thought that the products were just average, specifically designed for young teenagers, and just felt like a business play rather than an ambitious endeavor. Dunkin' Donuts offered a limited time drink on their menu called the Charli. Then she collaborated with Hollister, designing a limited edition fleece sweatshirt. Charli later appeared in Jennifer Lopez's music video for the single Pati plus Lonely, and in Bebe Rexha's Baby I'm Jealous shortly after. Charli's basic influencer journey was likely due to pressure from her managers letting her know she needed to be capitalizing on her moment.
Wow.
So what this is it's a look at your 2021. This is the major things we're focusing on. So we have all partnerships. We have, the different companies you're working with, like, ring lights and starting a clothing company. And then you have books and TV shows.
Most 16-year-olds are not ambitious. They just want to hang out with their friends. So Charli's managers essentially just tell her what career she is going to pursue, because if the world is going to give you fame, why not make millions of dollars from it? She didn't need to prove herself in these industries. Her follower count was enough. It seemed like Dixie had to try harder to be recognized as a promising talent, so she wasn't just seen as Charli's sister.
There were days I would work all day and Charli wouldn't do anything. I was like, how do you have all these followers and you're laying in bed all day?
Dixie made her acting debut in the Brat TV series Attaway General. This show is essentially a low-budget Grey's Anatomy, replacing the adults with TikTok influencers who can't act, including Dixie despite her theater background. Instead of incorporating real-life scenarios to teach important values to children, Attaway General is filled with unrealistic scenarios where these teen volunteers find themselves assisting patients in critical conditions with severe medical injuries despite having no qualifications. They also casually walk around the hospital, in and out of patients' rooms, and randomly break into TikTok dances in the hallway. The show received terrible reviews, sitting at an abysmal 1 out of 10 on IMDb. Dixie left the series after 1 season to focus on her music career, but her music career didn't really go smoothly either. Be Happy was Dixie's debut single, which focused on themes such as mental illness and depression. As she was hyping up the release, nobody had heard her sing before. She was notoriously a bad dancer and now a bad actor, so nobody really knew what to expect. What they got was Dixie moping around her multi-million-dollar LA mansion, asking everyone to let her be sad. It was your standard formulaic pop song with Rebecca Black Friday-level singing. Despite the memes, it gained 100 million views on YouTube and charted in multiple countries, including New Zealand, Ireland, Canada, and Scotland. The song was later certified gold, prompting a remix featuring singer-songwriter blackbear and rapper Lil Mosey. And although many expected her to tuck her tail and quit music, she did the opposite. Dixie signed a record deal with record executive L.A. Reid's label, Hitco Entertainment. For the rest of the year, she released 3 more singles: Naughty List, a Christmas song with Liam Payne, One Whole Day featuring Wiz Khalifa, and Roommates. She's consistently kept releasing music over the years, and her singing has gotten much better.
Sugar-coated on my pain, couldn't help it, I was just a kid.
Unfortunately, her first impression was so mediocre that closed-minded people probably don't want to give her music a second chance. Teenagers want independence, but they still rely on their parents a lot for their comfort and advice.
But LA is a very tricky place and people get sucked in. But being around my parents and my family keeps me so grounded, and
we still sleep home. We still tell our parents if we're leaving.
Yeah.
Do you guys like that?
Yeah.
Keeps us sane and normal.
Charlie and Dixie likely went into business with their family because, well, it'd be more comfortable to attack the crazy Hollywood lifestyle as a group. The D'Amelio Family YouTube channel was launched, which would lay the foundation for their reality show. These videos only proved that they were just any other ordinary family. It also sparked their first major controversy together. In November 2020, Charlie lost roughly 1 million followers after posting the first episode in a new series called Dinner with the D'Amelios. The series was intended to feature the family eating a meal with a different surprise guest. In the first episode, the D'Amelios sat down with James Charles for a paella dinner prepared for them by private chef Aaron May. The dish, traditional to Spanish culture, contains snails. Dixie picks up the snail, repulsed by the idea of eating it, and the chef tries to convince her to try it. This is what happened.
See? It sometimes happens when... Don't be so dramatic.
Excuse yourself.
Oh, she actually threw up. Ew.
Do we have any dino nuggets?
Ew.
While not liking snails is normal, it's obviously very rude to gag and make a huge scene. Imagine how the chef felt seeing that. Especially when later in the video, Dixie picks her nose and eats the booger. So they have their own personal chef, and Charlie is asking for dino nuggets, the privilege this girl has. While their father continues to try and have an engaging conversation with James, the girls couldn't be less interested, picking and playing with their food. To cap it off, Charlie made a comment about her follower count that rubbed James the wrong way.
Because imagine if I hit 100 mil a year after hitting mil.
Was the 95 not enough for you?
After the awkward moment, the girls try to close the show in the most unprofessional way ever.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching our YouTube video.
Thank you so much for
Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Thank you for watching the first ever and most likely the last ever episode of Dinner with the D'Amelios.
Kinda sad how James was scolding the girls for their manners and not the parents. James is nice to the chef. Any adult watching this knows that teenagers acting impolite or goofy during a dinner is extremely common. It's under the circumstances that made it so bad. They have a celebrity chef, a celebrity guest, and are filming the entire experience to launch a brand new series for their own business. So you'd think these girls would be on their best behavior. The entirety of social media erupted calling the girls entitled. The parents were not disciplinary enough. And the usual, why did we make these people famous? Some people time-stamped every single moment of the video criticizing a facial expression or movement from them being rude. Dixie tried to apologize for unfairly criticizing her based on an out-of-context 15-second clip, which was ridiculous because we had all of the context we need. Charlie also addressed the situation.
We've since talked to Chef Aaron May, and Like, he's not upset. He was in on the joke, so he was like it wasn't a thing where we were being blatantly disrespectful. It was more a thing like you joke around with your friends. Everyone on my team is friend and family. Like,
apparently, this was all just a
44
skit
mil
for the video.
on a live
Charli addressed
stream.
losing 1 million followers after her comment about wanting to hit 100 million followers in a year.
when I had said about the followers thing, I genuinely just thought it would be so cool to hit a huge milestone a year after hitting another milestone. I never meant for you guys to make it seem like you were numbers or did not mean anything, and
Now, if she kept this statement short and sweet, a lot of people would have considered this being a misunderstanding, but she made a crucial mistake and began crying on camera.
sorry. Seeing how people reacted to this, like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. Like,
I'm listening saying a chef should serve the food however the customer wants it served. What the?
this is messed up stuff that people are saying. Like, people telling me to hate myself, people just like blatantly disrespecting the fact that I'm still a human being is not okay at all.
The points she was making were valid. She didn't deserve that level of bullying, but many people look at crying as trying to take a situation and make yourself the victim and then try to gain sympathy. By doing this, it also allowed for people to spin the narrative, with headlines saying, Charli D'Amelio cries after losing 1 million followers, which we know is not why she was crying, but that just furthered the narrative that she is spoiled and famous for no reason. But ultimately, it didn't really matter, because she became the first person to surpass 100 million followers on TikTok, which prompted numerous accusations that Charli was buying TikTok followers because nobody still, after all this time, could understand why you would follow her. From day one, Charli and the entire D'Amelio family's biggest conflict was the hate.
If you have followers, you're not considered a person. You're just a thing that people get to judge and objectify and call names and bully. So it's like they don't expect it to hurt us, but like, we all do.
Being judged by the entire world is difficult, especially when there isn't much to judge. People usually acquire fame for possessing a skill or talent that is extraordinary, which makes people flock together to pay attention to that skill. You have to work, grind, show passion and dedication to a craft for years before anyone is going to respect you. They were given followers and fame and feel entitled to be given support every time they find a shiny new career they want to pursue.
No.
So people give hate to the D'Amelios because they get to waltz in any creative industry other people are dying to get into. They get paid more for mediocre work than experts in their field. So it's not surprising the world wants to hold them to the same standard as experts since they are getting paid just as much as them. Charli became a New York Times bestseller after writing a book called Essentially Charli, The Ultimate Guide to Keeping It Real, which covered topics of identity, cyberbullying, social media, and body image, as well as Charli's childhood and family life. Best-selling author, voice actor, professional dancer, podcaster, YouTuber, clothing designer, makeup designer, chef, musician, all within 2 years of being famous. She tried everything, but was committed to nothing. So the only thing left to do was start a reality TV show. The D'Amelio show premiered on Hulu in September of 2021 and was an immediate success. It became the most watched unscripted series among all first season titles in the genre on Hulu. Season 1 was them, unsurprisingly, becoming famous and dealing with the overwhelming amount of hate. They even put hate comments on the screen whenever the girls do anything, waking up in the morning reading hate comments, trying to predict the criticism they will inevitably get. This is just giving haters more power and will ultimately make them want to comment more. But this is the only setback that the D'Amelios have ever faced in their life. People not liking them. Mariana Trimble of Washington Square News called The D'Amelio Show a surprisingly humble look at TikTok's most famous family. You may be shocked to find that you have more in common with celebrities than you thought. Well, they were a normal family for 20 years and famous for 2 years, so it's not that surprising to think they are just like everyone else. But season 2 took a weird turn. They documented Charli's new burning passion to pursue a music career. Music was the outlet for Dixie to break away from just being Charli's sister, and since Charli was speedrunning every career path, you would think they would just let Dixie be the singer. But to make it worse, they lied to Dixie for months, claiming that Charli was at acting class when she was getting singing lessons. So when they broke the news, Dixie wasn't happy.
I was caught off guard and then expected to be like, oh my god, this is so perfect. You know what? Why don't you put this song on my album? We could do it together. Like, that's how they wanted me to react. And I'm like, guys, no.
Charli did end up releasing a couple songs that saw moderate success, but as a shock to nobody, she doesn't seem committed to that career path either. We also see even more pressure from managers for Charli to pursue business ventures.
Right now, my skin has like kind of not been the best, so I feel like just getting my skin fixed because it's like really bad right now, and I don't think it's fair of me to be like, use my skincare. That's not what I want. I feel like a fraud, and I don't enjoy feeling like that.
She also appeared in Dancing with the Stars, which was the first time a business venture made sense. And actually, Charli and her partner Mark Ballas won season 31. The other main theme about season 2 was how Dixie was in a toxic relationship with her boyfriend Noah.
How many times have you guys quietly separated and gotten back together over the last year?
However, season 3 gets even darker, starting with their father talking about the family's goals for this season.
Goals for this year, I would say what our goal is every year, to do no harm to our family.
Then they go on to make an entire season about Dixie and Charli hating each other.
You just need me. Like, you act like you don't. I don't need you. Great. You too. You can find a ride home, you can walk home, you can pay
find
half
another
your
ride.
rent. Okay?
Who?
Anyone else?
I have Uber.
I have Uber.
This was just what we see on camera. Charli says it's even worse off camera.
Like, she doesn't really see how she could even, like, be the problem. Like, the cameras see a mild version of it. Like, no one actually sees how it is, like, all the time. I am her human punching bag.
Now, it is important to recognize this is reality TV, and who knows how much of it is scripted. Since their careers are very boring, the show producers need menial drama to spiral into something bigger so they have a storyline. MTV producers purposely antagonize Ryan Sheckler on his show to get him to cry and lash out, which led to him developing an alcohol addiction. Mark and Heidi are not stepping in because if the sisters aren't fighting, the show is just them making mediocre music and complaining about hate comments. With that being said, it does seem like Dixie has genuine disdain for Charli.
I made her.
This wouldn't be the first time Dixie plays the "I'm better than you because I'm older" card.
I get, like, for you, it must be really exciting because, like, I always came in first, and, like, now you finally have your time to shine.
No, I think it's so cute that you riding on my coattails, like, really worked out for you.
No, I mean, like, that was your whole life. I mean, 2 years compared to 18, it's, like, really different.
Yeah.
And again, it's reality TV, so we have to take this with a grain of salt, but it
Damn.
kind of seems like this family is destroying itself. But the interest in the D'Amelios is drying up, because they're just a normal, pretty non-problematic family, which for the sake of humanity is great, but for entertainment, it's stale. All of their controversies are nothing compared to most celebrities, which, again, that's a good thing. The Kardashians maintain their fame through calculated publicity stunts, drama, sex tapes, contractual relationships with men who are A-list celebrities, having children. Reality TV is a soulless industry. Nobody's life is interesting enough to be on display like this. So you either have to intentionally create conflict or your show gets canceled. We usually deal with celebrity nonsense because they offer something of value in return. Kanye continuously disappoints his fans, but he has created so much great music that they will block out his antics and praise his art. Similar things can be said about Shia LaBeouf or even Bam Margera. Even though the D'Amelio controversies are small and Charli is pretty unproblematic, most people don't rush to her defense because she is known for TikTok dances and brand deals. Nobody's gonna be like, I'm gonna ignore the Charli controversy because she drinks Dunkin' Donuts coffee so well on her TikTok. It seems like this family is trying to force themselves to be something they are not, and it may be destroying them. Forbes reported Charli made $17 million in 2021, and their family company is worth $100 million. They have won the American dream. The already rich family got even richer. These days, Charli's comment section is flooded with people who say she fell off. She doesn't get millions of views and likes anymore. First it was famous for no reason, now it's not famous enough. It's never going to end. Ignore the hate comments. Why let Hollywood destroy your family for their entertainment?